Hello, everybody. Good morning, I should say. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel, where it is time for match week 30 predictions for the 2019-2020 Bundesliga season. 4 game weeks to go. And there's loads to play for at the bottom, and obviously in the European places as well. So let's have a quick look on how I did last week. So Freiburg Leverkusen, I went for a 2-1 win to Leverkusen. It finished 1-0. Wolfsburg Eintracht Frankfurt, I went for a 2-0 win to Wolfsburg. It finished 2-1 to Eintracht Frankfurt. So that's a bit of a shock for that one. Hertha Berlin Augsburg, I went for a 2-0 win to Hertha Berlin. It finished 2-0 Hertha Berlin. So first perfect score. Mainz Hoffenheim, I went for a 1-1 draw. It finished 1-0 to Hoffenheim. Schalke Bremen, I went for a 1-0 win to Bremen. It finished 1-0 to Bremen, and the problems mount for Schalke. Bayern Dusseldorf, I went for a 4-0 win to Bayern Munich. It was 5-0, so very, very close with that one. I was very close with this one as well. Monchengladbach Union Berlin, I went for a 3-1 win to Monchengladbach. It finished by 4-1. Paderborn against Dortmund, I went for a 4-0 win to Dortmund. It finished 6-1 to Borussia Dortmund. And FC Cologne Leipzig went for a 2-2 draw. It finished 4-2. So I got 10 points. As far as the comments section is concerned, though, obviously we had two comments this week. So we had Roberto Hollis, you got 7 points, one perfect score in there. So that was very, very good, 7 points. But Shane goes away with 12 points, as he got Hertha Berlin correct. He got Bremen right, and he also got the Hoffenheim score as well. So very, very well done to you, Shane. 12 points. So you win this week predictions in the Bundesliga. So now, apologies to everybody. I did not know there was a game in hand coming up, and it's obviously tomorrow. It's Werder Bremen Eintracht Frankfurt. So what I have done is I have included Werder Bremen Eintracht Frankfurt in this round of predictions. So you have 10 predictions to make. So I'll obviously leave a template, and obviously you can leave your predictions in the comments section. That would be very, very good as well. So your fixtures for the midweek match week 30 are as follows: Werder Bremen Eintracht Frankfurt, that is tomorrow, Wednesday, 7:30 kickoff. And then Friday we have Freiburg against Borussia Mnchengladbach. Then my game of the weekend, as you can probably tell by the thumbnail, Bayer Leverkusen against Bayern Munich. Can Bayer Leverkusen put a spanner in the works for Munich? It'll be very, very interesting to see. Eintracht Frankfurt return to action after that game in hand. They play Mainz 05. Fortuna Dusseldorf play Hoffenheim. RB Leipzig play SC Paderborn. And then at 5:30 it is Borussia Dortmund against Hertha Berlin. Werder Bremen against Wolfsburg. These are the Sunday games. Union Berlin against Schalke. And Augsburg versus FC Cologne. So the first game to preview is Werder Bremen against Eintracht Frankfurt. Obviously Bremen coming off the back of a 1-0 win over Schalke, looking very, very good that game, and it was a fantastic winning goal as well. We'll discuss that one. Eintracht Frankfurt getting a very surprising win over Wolfsburg, it has to be said, but very, very well done to them. It was a 2-1 win over there. Yeah, Bremen, they've really, really picked up recently. Some very, very important results. And obviously, like, if you look at the table now, obviously they're closing in on Mainz. They're closing in on Dusseldorf. So it's getting really, really interesting at the bottom of the table. Eintracht Frankfurt, I said this a couple of weeks ago, I didn't think they were in relegation trouble, and that was a massive win to go to Wolfsburg and win. And it's going to be very, very interesting, because I think, like, obviously this game in hand, if they were to win this, I think they'd be safe. I don't see them getting dragged into any relegation trouble for the time being either. So I think looking at that game, it was a very, very important win for Frankfurt. So obviously this is the game in hand for both of these sides. So going to be very, very interesting. I'm going to sway towards Bremen, because I think if Bremen do win, then they go out of the relegation zone for the first time in a long time. So I think I'm going to go for a Bremen win. I am going to go for a 2-1 win to Werder Bremen in the game in hand. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting game, but we'll see. We'll see what happens as well. Freiburg against Borussia Mnchengladbach. Obviously, Freiburg losing 1-0 to Bayer Leverkusen. Borussia Mönchengladbach, a 4-1 win over Union Berlin. It was a very, very good performance from them as well. Freiburg, the one thing you can say about Freiburg, they're not losing by many goals. And do you know what? Leverkusen, they got the win in the end. Obviously, Kai Havertz. Who else? I mean, Kai Havertz does like scoring for Leverkusen. But you know what? Freiburg were in the game. They played very, very well. And it could have been. You know, it could have been the equaliser that they got, but they didn't in the end. Borussia Mönchengladbach, very, very impressive 4-1 win over Union Berlin. They are just going from strength to strength at the moment. They really, really are. You know, it's again very, very tight at the top end of the table as well. Really tricky one to call because obviously, you know, Freiburg not losing by many goals. They're not scoring many either, although I have to say, from watching Borussia Mönchengladbach at the weekend, I can't really see anything other than a Mönchengladbach win. I think they'll win by 2-1. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Mönchengladbach here. And here is my game of the week. It has to be said, Bayer Leverkusen against Bayern Munich. Bayer Leverkusen 1-0 win over Freiburg. Bayern Munich 5-0 winners over Fortuna Dusseldorf. Leverkusen, Kai Havertz again. What can we say about Kai Havertz? He's just been absolutely sensational this season. Scoring for goal after goal, really. It's been very, very good from him. Yes, they had to grind out the win. A 1-0 win over Freiburg. It wasn't a pretty game to watch, in all honesty, but Leverkusen played very, very well. And deserved the win. Bayern Munich, obviously 5-0 winners over Fortuna Dusseldorf. Has to be said, they were helped by very poor defending. Obviously Jorgensen, obviously Zanka is obviously his name from his Huddersfield days. That was a very, very poor performance. It has to be said, but obviously Alphonso Davies again scoring again. Bayern Munich are just too strong, and you know I think it is going to be mathematically confirmed in the next couple of weeks that they will be champions. I just don't see anyone beating them at the moment, but. This is a really tricky test because obviously Bayer Leverkusen playing very, very well at this moment in time. However, their last home game, they lost 4-1 to Wolfsburg. So that will be on their minds for sure. So I just think the Bayern Munich will be far, far too strong in this game. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Bayern Munich. But it would be very, very interesting if Leverkusen were to win that game, and I think it is only a matter of time before Bayern Munich are confirmed as champions. But I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Bayer Leverkusen. Eintracht Frankfurt are back in action on Saturday. They play Mainz 05. Obviously, like I've said, Frankfurt. Obviously, we'll see what happens in the Wednesday game, and obviously Mainz 05 losing to Hoffenheim at the weekend as well, which was. It wasn't a pretty game, but Hoffenheim came out with the win there. I mean, look. Obviously, if Eintracht Frankfurt were to lose to Werder Bremen, then obviously you would have to say that they want to bounce back as well. Mainz, they're looking really, really tentatively above their shoulders now, because obviously they've got Bremen catching them, we've got Dusseldorf catching them. They are looking really perilous above just above the relegation playoffs. So it'd be very, very interesting to see how well they do. I think this is a must-win for Mainz. In all honesty, I just don't see it. I think Mainz could potentially be in the relegation zone by the time that they go and play Frankfurt, because obviously Bremen win, they will leapfrog Mainz. And Mainz would drop into the relegation playoff, and obviously Dusseldorf would be second bottom. So I think that's going to happen. So, and I don't think it's going to be any sort of relief for Mainz either. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Eintracht Frankfurt. I just think Frankfurt will be too strong for them, and Mainz looking like they could be relegated or in that relegation playoff, we shall see. Fortuna Dusseldorf against Hoffenheim. Obviously, Fortuna Dusseldorf, you're not going to play Bayern Munich every week, so I think that's something you can be basically pleased about. You don't play Bayern Munich every week. 5-0 defeat that was. Hoffenheim win 1-0 away at Mainz. And it was very, very good performance from Hoffenheim as well. Fortuna Dusseldorf, like I said, they didn't really help themselves. Defending very, very poorly. Obviously, they managed to keep the score down to 5-0 because obviously, like, Bayern Munich went into a 5-0 lead very, very quickly. And it could have been a lot more. But no, to be honest, Fortuna Dusseldorf, they'll be pretty pleased. Like I've said, they're not playing Bayern Munich every week. So that's one thing you could say. Hoffenheim, a really good away win. Really good away win at Mainz. Mainz is not an easy place to go to in either case, but should be very, very interesting. So I'm going to go for Hoffenheim to get another win. Dusseldorf running out of games to save themselves, but it'll be very, very interesting. But I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to Hoffenheim in this game. And then we have RB Leipzig against SC Paderborn. Obviously, Leipzig winning 4-2 against Cologne last night. And obviously, we've seen the first goalkeeper assist of the season. Peter Gulacsi to Timo Werner. Timo Werner latching on to a very, very good pass from Gulacsi and slotting it away. Leipzig looked really, really good last night, to be quite honest with you. SC Paderborn... all you can say is, against Dortmund, they were in the game. They were in the game for most of it. Obviously, they did manage to pull it back 2-1. But then, obviously, Dortmund scored so many goals after that. A further 4 after that, I should say. But yeah, Leipzig's home form has been very, very interesting. A few draws recently as well. So, but you'd have to expect Leipzig to beat SC Paderborn. SC Paderborn, I mean, they're 9 points adrift at the moment. I reckon that they could be relegated this weekend. I think their stay in the Bundesliga will be short-lived, and I think they will be relegated this week. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Leipzig, and I'm going to make a wee prediction here that Timo Werner scores most of the goals. So we'll see what happens in that. But I've got a feeling that SC Paderborn will be beaten, and I think they will be relegated as well. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to RB Leipzig. And we have the 5:30 game on the Saturday. It is Borussia Dortmund against Hertha Berlin. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund 6-1 winners over Paderborn. Hertha Berlin winning 2-0 against Augsburg. So both of these sides in really, really good form recently. Hertha Berlin, they're climbing the table. They really are. Dortmund 6-1 winners over Paderborn. Very, very good. Obviously, there is apparently Hakimi and Sancho are in trouble because obviously of their political gesture towards obviously George Floyd. I'm sorry. I applaud Sancho for that. I think it was absolutely fantastic what he did. And do you know what? Sancho looked very, very good. Youngest player to reach 30 Bundesliga goals since Kai Havertz did it. So, youngest player since Kai Havertz did it. So, congratulations to Jadon Sancho. Hertha Berlin, very, very good win against Augsburg. Very, very good win as well. Marko Grujic again, proving to probably be why many people think he could be at Liverpool next season to obviously stay there as well. So that would be very, very good. Really difficult one to call because obviously both of these sides are in very, very good form as we speak. But I'm going to go for Dortmund. I think Sancho looked really, really good at the weekend. They were without Haaland, but they didn't really miss him because I think they played Sancho sort of the false nine as well, and he thrived upon that, and obviously with a hat trick as well. Very, very well done to Sancho. But this is a message to the German football authorities. Please do not ban Jadon Sancho for a brilliant tribute to George Floyd. I think that was absolutely fantastic. And don't ban Hakimi either. And there was one other player as well in that list, but please don't ban them. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. But obviously, the authorities will obviously decide that. But yeah, it'd be very, very mental to do that. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Borussia Dortmund in this game. So should be very, very interesting in that one. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Dortmund. Maybe Berlin could grab a draw. We shall see. We shall see what develops in that one. We move to the Sunday games. Werder Bremen are back in action. They are playing Wolfsburg. Obviously, Werder Bremen, I predicted them to beat Eintracht Frankfurt. So if they were to beat Frankfurt, then obviously that would be a very, very interesting state of things. Wolfsburg, very surprising to go to Leverkusen. Everyone probably predicted them to win. And then all of a sudden, it was a very, very poor performance against Eintracht Frankfurt to obviously go at home and then obviously lose, which was very, very weird indeed. Very tricky one to call because obviously both of these sides are in very, very good form. Obviously Wolfsburg surprisingly losing to Frankfurt at the weekend there. I'm going to say a draw on this one. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between Bremen and Wolfsburg. I think it'll be very, very close, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And I think that would keep Bremen just outside the relegation zone as well. But they've got it in their hands now, so that would be very interesting to see. But if Bremen can win their game in hand, then it makes it very, very interesting, like I've said. So we shall see what happens. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this game. Union Berlin against Schalke 04. Obviously, Union Berlin 4-1 defeat to Borussia Mnchengladbach. Schalke losing 1-0 to Bremen. And the problems just pile up for David Wagner at Schalke. Obviously, Union Berlin, they don't play Borussia Mönchengladbach every week. This is a game they'll target, I think, to obviously go on and try and win. It's going to be a very, very interesting game because obviously, Schalke are just not in good form at all. I will come to them very, very soon. But Union Berlin, to be honest, they're pretty happy where they are at this moment in time. Not in any relegation trouble whatsoever. So I think their position will be their status as a Bundesliga club will be confirmed this weekend. I can see that happening. So, but my goodness me, what on earth is happening at Schalke? Lots of rumours about David Wagner's future. I'm surprised he's still at the club. I said on Twitter that I think he might be gone by Monday. That's not happened. He is still at the club at this moment in time. But if they keep losing, then I think he will be away. So the reason I say that, because I think Schalke are just not in good form whatsoever. I am going to go for a 2-1 win to Union Berlin, and then that would be 1 win in 12 games for Schalke, and then they do have a decision to make on Wagner's future. We shall see what happens as well. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Union Berlin. And the final game to preview is Augsburg against FC Cologne. Obviously, Augsburg 2-0 defeat to Hertha Berlin. FC Cologne 4-2 defeat to Leipzig. Obviously, Augsburg disappointing defeat to Hertha Berlin, but they were in the game. They were in the game, and until Hertha Berlin scored 2 quick-fire goals as they did. FC Cologne, disappointing because they were 1-0 up against Leipzig, and then they just allowed Leipzig to come back into the game, which was very, very interesting indeed. Oh, very tricky one to predict. Very, very tricky one to predict because obviously both of these sides are not really in relegation threatened form. So, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this one. Augsburg 1, FC Cologne 1. So that is it. That is my Bundesliga Matchweek 30 predictions. Obviously 10 matches this week because obviously I completely forgot about the game in hand. So I will go through my predictions very, very quickly, and all you have to do is leave your predictions in the comment section as well. So Werder Bremen 2, Eintracht Frankfurt 1, Freiburg 1, Borussia Mnchengladbach 2, Bayer Leverkusen 1, Bayern Munich 3, Eintracht Frankfurt 2, Mainz 05 0, Fortuna Dusseldorf 0, Hoffenheim 1, RB Leipzig 3, SC Paderborn 0, Borussia Dortmund 3, Hertha Berlin 1, Werder Bremen 1, Wolfsburg 1, Union Berlin 2, Schalke 04 1, and Augsburg 1, FC Cologne 1. So that is it. That is my match week 30 predictions done and dusted. And just before I go, I will look at the table in the Bundesliga because it is getting very, very interesting. So, Bayern Munich at the top on 67, Borussia Dortmund 60, RB Leipzig 58, Borussia Mnchengladbach 56, Bayer Leverkusen 56, Wolfsburg 42, Hoffenheim 42, Freiburg 38, Hertha Berlin 38, Schalke 37, FC Cologne 34, Eintracht Frankfurt 32, Augsburg 31, FC Union Berlin 31, Mainz now looking over their shoulders 28, Fortuna Dusseldorf 27, Werder Bremen 25, and SC Paderborn 19. So yeah, going to be very, very interesting. Obviously, shall be really interesting to see if Werder Bremen can actually get out of the relegation. Actually, in fact, I've just noticed actually Werder Bremen have got a worse goal difference than Mainz, but if Werder Bremen were to win, they would go above Dusseldorf. So that's one thing you can say. And actually, I've got this wrong as well. There's 5 game weeks left, not 4, as I said at the start of the video. So there we go indeed. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. And obviously let me know your predictions in the comment section down below, and like Shane O'Donnell, you will get a shout out in the next video. And yeah, thank you to everyone who's obviously predicted as well recently. It really has meant a lot. And yeah, so we'll see what happens. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Enjoy your Bundesliga weekend. Bye bye for now. Auf Wiedersehen.